Yeah, it's always a progress in football. Beginning of the season, we needed to give some clearance for players. We have 37 players in the squad. For me, it's always important in football. You can only manage your certain players. Today's football become more business. Managers are involved. Certain managers have four, or five, six players in the team. There's another manager who have another. So there is a lot of interest in certain people. So we need to spread that. Firstly, that was for me important. Not spread that, being more manageable squad. That was the most important. Secondly, everyone in the squad must have a chance to play. So having a small squad, obviously, that gives any player an opportunity to play, and you can control the players better in the way of the progress of the tactical aspect. So that was the first thing. Secondly, we opted to say that we wanted to have a certain style of play. So this is why we needed a certain type of players involved. And then we come up with a lot of analysis of the movements with the ball and without the ball. And I think the players were really working very hard. So then the periodization comes in. And then obviously I have some great technical stuff behind me, especially Elsa Storm, which is one of the best sport sciences in the country. So it made my life easier on the periodization.
At one stage you were top of the table, I think it was in January this year. Do you feel maybe the boys lost a little bit of steam towards the end?
Yeah, it's also about, I hear that word, there's a lot of, it's also about quality. If the quality is not there, why are you paying for Maradona, Messi's and 60 million euro per season, 70 million euro per season that these players get? So it's about quality. Obviously also a mentality that you want to win. And we cannot say and point fingers to the players in South Africa. We need to point players to the coaches in South Africa, especially to the youth coaches, to federations, to organizations, because the talent in the country is there. Yeah. I can say one thing: how can be an Aubrey Modiba this season be a standing player, or Thabo Nodada or Judas in our team? 20-year-old youngsters did not feature at least in the last season the Premier League side, and have only played even 7 games in the Diski, and suddenly they come on and play the whole season in the Premier League side. So these are the elements that we need to look into more deeper. Why talents like that is not been discovered when they are 14, 15, 16 and been given them the opportunities. And obviously the cultural background and the social background in the country has its own challenges. But we as coaches are the ones who need to give these boys and the possibilities to grow and to learn. And that's, for me, the lacking part of South African football.
Absolutely. Coach, something that I've noticed in the side, and I think that's certainly been part of your success, is you have a very well-balanced side with those experienced players and the young players like Nodana being one of them.
I don't see myself really successful. I must say that. I'm a person that I have won 11 trophies. They say so. We need to check that. But have done actually every club that I coached, if it's now in Egypt or in Ismaili, or in Tunisia or in Emirates or in Austria, or every time the Christian Fuchs, what you see now by Leicester, is one of the players that I discovered when he was 17 by it's like Thabo Nodada, and giving him the chances on those years together with Jabu Pule actually. Jabu can speak about Christian Fuchs, which has been all over the news now. I discovered he was with 16 already in the Premier League side with me playing by Mattersburg, and I'm not saying that, but that was the process how we started. Absolutely. And other coaches came in and made that player what he is today. But in the end, you need to give these youngsters an opportunity. And that once with Bielsa, Marcelo, years ago, a discussion in Argentina. We in a forum said the Argentinians understand that much better to give youngsters a chance. And he said one word that is always in my ears, and he says, a 16-year-old player is an adult. So if the 16-year-old player is very similar to the experienced ones, why do you not want to use him? And that has always made me, after Marcelo said that all those years ago, and Lippi was also one of the coaches, like also Marcelo Lippi said that years ago. And why do you not want to give chances to these youngsters? And I think that has grown all my way, giving those youngsters with a balance of the experienced players in. And because when these youngsters have a chance to play, when they smell that jersey, they will not release it. So they will go really into that and make this experienced one run a bit quicker.
It's a very special thing indeed. Coach, at some point in the season, did you think that you'd be able to do a Leicester? You'd be able to take the league and give the big boys something to talk about?
No, it was for me from the first. I'm not a dreamer. I'm in long in this business. I started to play professional football with 17 and been now started to coach with 26 when I get my heavy injury. So I've been long in this business, and there is no fairy tale stories. That's when you see Leicester doing like that, you won't imagine how much work is behind that. It's not by luck. And every say is Leicester has. When we speak about them, I think they spent around 150 million euro. So it's not a small club. No, and obviously you see from outside that somebody was never there. We in the beginning, and I meant that 40 points. I meant 40 points, but I was hoping 50, being honest. And we were on the right way to it. But the biggest problem that we had during the season, and where the management actually wanted to help me, and I was the one who put the brake on. In December window to get some more players in. We got, but I always feel that in December window for a team who does well, to get more players in is always difficult. When you look to that now, we got a couple of players, Mulenga, Bryce Moon, we get a couple of players in, and in the end was a bit you see this was Lindo Bottom. It was a bit difficult for these ones who adapted already, who had the pre-seasons with us. And I always believe that these transfers mid-season is always difficult. Then a problem that what occurred for us is that Nonyane get heavily injuries. Some couple we couldn't play. The most important factor for us was that Lebo Manyama, the injury of Lebo has really cost us the momentum. Lebo, in the analysis what we had, Lebo had 2.4 chances per halftime. That's a big possibility. So 2.4 chances per halftime means 5 chances per game. It's a big number, and obviously having a player that out was a problem for us.
Coach Collins has been a revelation for the team. I mean, there's been a lot of criticism around him along the years, but he certainly upped his game, top scorer in the league so far. What makes him a successful player, and how has he sort of made the team work around him?
No, it's always taking and giving. We know that Collins is not a runner. Collins needs to be around the box. That's the first thing. So from the tactical viewpoint, we need to build our momentum when we win the ball back. The areas we need to explore, and where we're going to attack. Obviously, you will understand. I will not speak about these small details, but we need to know about in which areas we can give Collins the ball. And in the beginning was actually very good. In the end, the last 10 games, you see that he doesn't score a lot anymore. The people have analysed, the opponents have analysed him very well. Where are the movements, and where are the counterparts? And exactly then, Lebo Manyama's injury came in. So actually, this momentum was stolen off from us, which obviously then you could see our dropping point in. We had a beginning of the season a very tight defense. We didn't concede. We scored 1 goal, and we conceded. So this is what my analysis now today we had with the team. It made me actually very sad and disappointed about that. Our backline at this point in time became so naive, and. Suddenly, when the degree of success I could see that the relaxation in their mind became more in the team, and that made me really it made me angry several times, because they don't stick to that what we have worked out, and the defense is conceding more goals that we scored last couple of months, and that was also one of the problems.
Coach, obviously there's 2 games left in the season. What is there left to look forward to in the league? I presume you still have maybe a goal to finish one position higher?
Yeah, it is amazing when Black Aces can finish over Supersport, Pirates, Chiefs.
Achievement enough.
This is a fantastic achievement when you and then you win in the top 4, top 5. Obviously, my goal was to be in the top 3. We could have lost against Golden Rails at home. That was after leading 2-0. That's what I just mentioned about the defensive lines. Tax last minute. 97 minute, the goal, we're leading 1-0. It's unbelievable. I mean, there's another 2 points, there are 2 points, 3 points. And when you look to the home games like Bloemfontein Celtic, it was like Chiefs, it was unnecessary losses or draws that we had. And that's where we lost the momentum. And we could have been easily number 3 this season.
Coach, have you set goals for next season already, or are you waiting for the season to finish?
I wait season to finish. Actually, I don't know. We need to sit down with the management for my own future. And I think obviously there's always requirements from my side to be back in my own country. But I love the country, and been all those years here in South Africa. My family feels very happy. We live in Cape Town when we are not working. We're not back in Europe, so we'll see. I have to see the management. They are wonderful owners of the club, but we also have to see the budget. What can we do in the next couple of years? And obviously I'm always a person who wants to go more forward. I want to race, and myself want to be in racing every time, and put that demands also on myself.
With those little resources that you do have, you've managed to turn the team around. If you are to stay on, what would you need from management, from the PSL, to be able to take this team to number one and possibly a spot in Africa someday?
Yeah, it is important that our team gets in a certain age, and recovery of when you look to the last games, we played 5 games Wednesday, Sunday, so I couldn't even train. We need to have the recovery better, so we need to drop our age a little bit. That's very much getting younger players in, what we're doing. Always our striking line is a bit very thin, only with Collins. The youngsters what we have at this point in time, they're not to that standard what we expect to be in the top 5. Our defensive line and what you see there, I call that the X. Our X need to be better. If you can invent in that certain players, then being more stable in our spine. Because we are from the sides, we're very good, very pacey, very quick, and can any moment throw punches. Yeah. But in the end, we need to have some, let me say, not quality, but I would say more players that can hold on to the ball, being a little bit more tactical, versatile. That will help the team growing to the next level.
Coach, thank you for taking time to speak to us here on ANN7, and we wish that you'll be with us in the country for a good few years, because we really appreciate what you're doing for footballers.
Thanks very much.